this corner to corner blanket, I'm going to use quite thick baby soft wool and a 6.5mm hook. And I'm just going to show you a diagram of how this blanket works. So this blanket is different to other blankets. You don't start off making a chain with the width of the blanket. You start off in the very corner, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. So I just did a little diagram. So you're starting off in this very corner here, and you're going to just make a series of squares. So the first row is going to be 1 square, and the second row is going to be 2 squares, and the third row 3 squares. So actually you're making the blanket diagonally like this here. And then when you get to the length that you want, you start to taper off to make it either rectangular or square. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do this. But I think if you have an idea of what you're doing and what it should look like as you're going along. So each square is made up of 4 double crochets. 1 double crochet is a chain 3. And I'll explain that now as we start. So to start, make a slip knot and chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now the first 3 chain, the 3 chain nearest your hook, are considered 1 double crochet. And just to point out, I am using American terminology. So you go into the 4th chain from the hook and you do a double crochet. 5th chain, a double crochet. And the 6th chain is a double crochet, like so. And you've actually made your very first box. So this here is a chain 3, but it's considered a double crochet. And 3 more double crochets to make your very first box. Now, what you do now is you turn your work and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And you repeat what you did before. So you go into the 4th chain from the hook with a double crochet and 1 double crochet in the remaining 2 stitches. And you've now made the second box. So to attach this box to the blanket, you go into the last double crochet of the first box and you do a slip stitch. And your blanket will now start to look like this. So this will be the width, and now we're going to start going up this way. What you do now, it's different, is you chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you do 3 more double crochet into this stitch here. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so already it's starting to take shape. So this is the first line and this is the second line. First line, second line. So now we're going to do row 3. So in order to do row 3, we're going to be going up this way. So turn your work and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And go in, double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. And 1 double crochet into the remaining 2 chains. 1 and 2. So now what you're going to do is you're on row 3, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the box beside this one. So you slip stitch in there, you chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and you do 3 more double crochet into the same space. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. Your blanket is starting to go up like this. Okay, and what you're going to do now is you're going to slip stitch onto the next box. And obviously each row that you do is going to have more middle boxes. where you do a 3 double crochet and 3 chain and a 3 double crochet. So you chain 3 and do 3 double crochet all into the space where you slip stitched. Okay, and now you've come to the end of the row and you want to make it longer. So you turn your work and you chain 6. So every row you want to make longer, you chain 6. And the middle rows, you don't chain 6, you chain 3. So I've now chained 6. So again, go into the 4th, chain from the hook and do a double crochet and a double crochet into the remaining 2 chains. 1 and 2. And now you're going to slip stitch into each box along. Slip stitch, chain 3, 1, and do 3 double crochet all into the same space that you slip stitched. You're going to slip stitch into the next box. You're going to chain 3. So all the middle boxes are a chain 3, 3 double crochet, and all the end boxes are chain 3, this is an end box, 3 double crochet, same as the middle boxes, and then chain 6 to increase the length and the width. Okay, so now I want to increase. So turn your work and chain 6. 6. Now after this row I'm going to show you how to taper off your box. Okay, so I'm just doing a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and if you don't know how to do the basic stitches or you're not aware of the different terminologies, you've got UK terminology and American terminology, and I just happen to learn how to crochet with American terminology. I do have a YouTube video that shows you how to do the basic stitches, so you can check that out. So I'm just going along this row here. 3, 1, 2, and 3. Get some more wool. 1, 2, and 3. And the blanket that I have in the picture at the beginning, I've actually changed colours on each row. So you can change colours if you want to. This particular wool doesn't need to change colours because there are a couple of different colours in it. Okay, and I've come to the last box of this row. So you just slip stitch in, you chain 3, which counts as your double, and you do 3 more double crochet. Okay, imagine this is as high as you want to go. You don't want to go any higher, and you don't want to go any further out here. Okay, so if we just take this diagram, so you've come to the height that you want and the width that you want, and you just want to start tapering off to make it rectangular. What you do is, instead of chaining 6, turn your work, chain 1, and you're going to slip stitch along the top of the last box that you did, along the top of each stitch. So you should have 4 slip stitches, and you slip stitch into the end of the box, into the double crochet at the end of the box, and you chain 3, and you repeat the same as all the other lines. You chain 3 and you do 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and into the next box, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and you just continue chain 3, 3 double crochet the whole way up till you get to this box, and then I'll show you what to do. Pause. So I've now come to the last box of this line. I'm going to slip stitch into it. Okay, now I don't want to increase this line anymore. I don't want to make it longer or wider. I just want it to taper across here like this. Okay, so you've slip stitched into your last box, and instead of chaining 3 and doing 3 double crochet, you don't do that. Turn your work, chain 1, that just makes it neat, and you're going to slip stitch across the top of the last box that you did. So you should have 4 slip stitches, 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and the fourth one brings you into the double crochet, and you're going to chain 3 and do your 3 double crochet into the same space. You're just going to go along right up to here. Okay, and I'll show you again what to do when you get to the top there. Now, again, I've come to the top of my line and I've already started making this straight. Okay, so we're sort of making a box. And what you do is you slip stitch to the top of that box. Okay, it's going across, turn your work, chain 1, and slip stitch across the 4 double crochet into the 3 double crochet line, if you like. Okay, and when you start tapering off this blanket, no matter how big it is so quick. So you do your 3 chain and your 3 double crochet, and slip stitch into the top of the last box of this row. And instead of chaining 3 or anything like that, you turn your work and you chain 1. And so you slip stitch across the top of the box, 3 and 4, and you've come to your very last box and your very last corner, and you just repeat 3 chain and 3 double crochet, 1 and 2 and 3. And the last thing you do is you slip stitch to the top. And that is what a corner to corner blanket would look like. Obviously, this is only a square. You can make it as long as you like, as wide as you like. And a lot of the times when I'm making these blankets, I do every row or every second row in a different colour. And it does look really cool. So, yeah, corner to corner blanket.